Hello everyone. Today we are going to talk about something called self-analysis, that is, finding yourself. In today's competitive world, having high IQ is not the only criteria to succeed, and one must have EQ also. EQ or emotional quotient or intelligence is more important than one's IQ in attaining success in their lives and career. EQ is the ability to understand, use, or manage our emotions in positive ways to relieve stress, communicate effectively, empathize with others, overcome challenges, and diffuse conflicts. The first building block of EQ is self awareness. Self awareness is our ability to recognize our own emotions and their effects on us and others. To be self aware, we need to do self analysis. Self analysis forces us to think critically and honestly about ourselves and our work. The analysis of oneself, in particular one's motive and character, is known as self analysis. That is, we try to understand what is our character, what is our motive in the existence. According to the popular definitions of self analysis, a systematic attempt by an individual to understand his or her own personality without the aid of another person, that is, without the influence of other people surrounding him or her, is known as the self analysis. According to the social psychology, self assessment is the process of looking at oneself in order to assess aspects that are important to one's identity. That is, we it is the motive that drives the evaluations or the self verifications or the self enhancement of one. We, when we talk about the self analysis, the first question which comes to us is how do we do the self analysis? We basically follow a process called SWOT analysis in order to do a self analysis. SWOT analysis is a strategic planning technique used to help a person or organization in identifying its SWOT. And since we are talking about the self analysis, we will talk it from the perspective of a person. SWOT analysis is also known as SWOT matrix. It is an acronym for strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. SWOT analysis comprises of two aspects, the internal aspects and the external aspects. The internal aspects being as in our own self. The external aspects means the external environment where we exist into. The internal aspects are the strengths and the weaknesses. The strengths can be our qualifications, our skills, our knowledge, which is unique or which is different from others where we exist into. Or the weaknesses are something which we deprived of or which we don't have in order to acquire our future or the current goals or roles. It can be something the bad habit also. Now, when we come on to the external aspects, it is the external environment, that is the opportunities which is existing, but are we able to grab those or not? And the threats. The threats is that is someone better than me in that doing that job? Someone will be obviously better than us in doing some particular job. So those are the threats. Now, when the question comes is how do we do the SWOT analysis? In order to do a SWOT analysis, we follow certain processes. But before that, we need to know why should we do the SWOT analysis? SWOT analysis is done basically to evaluate the strength, that is, what can we do? The weaknesses, what should not be done or what we cannot do? Opportunities, what are the favorable conditions which we have based on our strength? The threats, what are the unfavorable conditions which are existing due to our weaknesses? Now, in order to evaluate these things, we need to do the SWOT analysis. The SWOT analysis can be done in the following steps. That is step number one. We first have to list out our weaknesses, our opportunities, our strength, and our threats. Once we list out that one, then the second step is we have to become aware of our own strength, our own weakness, the opportunities and the threats which is existing based on our skills and knowledge or the strengths and the weaknesses. And the third step is we try to decide what we are going to do with our strength, our weakness, and our opportunities. Once we are done with our SWOT analysis, we can follow the following strategies to build our emotion quotients. The strategies are: number one, SWOT, strength or opportunities strategies, where we use our strength to gain the opportunities which is existing in the external environment. Second strategy is weaknesses and opportunities. In this one, we try to overcome our weaknesses, which is depriving us of attaining our opportunities. The third one is strength and threat strategies. In this one, we use our strength to avoid or minimize a threat which is existing in the external environment. The fourth one is the weakness and threat strategies, where we try to remove our weaknesses to reduce the impact of threat on us. We cannot remove the threats, but we can reduce the threats by eliminating our weaknesses. Following our. So that's it for today. Thank you very much.